guys, we're in that desert of news period in the NFL for the most part. But the oasis of the draft is coming up real quick, but is not tons of information going on. And, there's crazy talk like, if Tua changes his thigh page, you think that's going to help him with his concussion issue? Or always the trade. You think if we trade for Dick Butkus, he might be available? Will he be an upgrade? There's that reaching and going to the bottom of the barrel kind of talk. And, we all get there. I do. Everybody else does. But I thought there was some good information that came out. I want to dig into that and tie it all together. I want to deal with the blockers. There was talk about DJ Fluker floating out there. I'm going to deal on that a real short point right there. But then Smythe was re-signed. His contract was extended. I want to deal on that because he's a key piece to the blocking unit. And then Saubert, I did some digging into him. I want to look at them as blockers. Long story short, to me, I don't want to hear about safeties and corners and middle linebackers and receivers and running backs unless that back can block. We need blockers. This team really has a chance. It really has hope. Nothing's written in stone or anything like that. But the whole deal, all the stuff we added, coaching and talent, what we had last year and where we are and all this thing. There's legit hope here, guys. But the big focus, the weakness in both depth and starting talent is the blockers. I mean, that's not just the offensive lines, tight ends, and the running backs. So to me, I like what Chris Greer has done as far as being able to put little pieces here and there where he's not screaming, I'm going for this guy, or I need this. I mean, it's clear to me, and I guess it's clear to a lot of you, but there is a little bit of smoke screen, and that's critical for him being in the back of the second round. Guys can jump him. And my son was doing his homework today, and it was a quote, and it kind of fit with what I'm doing here today. And it's like, if you want to be ambitious, the best thing you can do is convince other people you aren't ambitious or have no ambition. And that's really what Chris Greer has done. He practiced the art of war. All war is based on deception. And so he said, we got Saubert, and Fangio loves him, and we got Smythe, we extended him. We don't want a tight end. We ain't going, we brought these other guys in at line, and we were good, I got to believe there's deception there. To me, adding some help in his blocking unit gives us unbelievable boost in our odds to truly be successful. So I want to dial in on that and focus on that. I want to let you guys know, for a lot of you who pay attention to me a little bit, I'm going for my fourth session on my rejuvenation process with the docs. I think this might be the ticket this time, guys. I'm hoping. So they say I'm going to know in like 2 or 3 more. So I just want to give you that shout out. But I also want to say thanks for the likes, the subscribes, and the comments. All that stuff helps us with the algorithms. It makes me feel good. I like that the most. The algorithm thing, I'm not a computer guy. But I've been told I got to, be smart and try to let you guys know that all that stuff really keeps me in business and keeps this show growing. So I want to say thank you for that and for all future, all that stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. I really do think you're the best. I want to give you a shout out and shout out to Ace Bread, my sponsor, because without them, this show ain't going down. Ace Bread's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. Skills is like a sexy girl. Girls or a sexy guy if you're the girl out there, girls out here watch this. And, it's great to look at, but the character, the intelligence, the loyalty, the key stuff, that all comes from blocking. You can see this thing here. Dolphins, they're the 8th most expensive room in 2023. It's not about more cowbell. It's not about adding more receivers and more explosive guys. We've got so much explosive guys. This team is like a vial of nitroglycerin ready shooken up. We need blockers. We need guys to get in there and grind it out and give the quarterback time, allow those routes to develop, to run the football, to get the defense biting, to open things up. It's not all about just forcing it. We're attacking. We got the best. It's deception, as I spoke earlier. So I heard some talk about Fluker, DJ Fluker. I was excited about him last year, but he didn't make it out. But he hasn't played a snap really since 2020. Now, he looked great. You got to see the size of this guy. Guy is a giant. 6'6", 340 or something like that, 6'5". And you show a picture of him lifting. The guy's arms are like, they go on forever. This guy's ripped and looking great. But I want you to take a look. His last season in 2020, right here, his overall grade, PFF, 57 pass blocking, 67 run blocking, offensive snaps. You see in the red box over there, 531. And he had 9 penalties, 2 sacks, 3 hits, and 26 total pressures. And that's half a season. He is not the guy you want for this offense. I don't see him coming here unless he's playing guard. And if he plays guard, I don't know if he's ever played guard, but a lot of these guys that just don't have the footwork or the speed and get beat on that outside rush like Shell, just really serve better if they can. It's not, the transition to guard is not super hard when you're that big. And, unless you're like 6'8", then it gets tough. But these guys can definitely, if he comes in and plays guard, I like that. If he's playing tackle, I don't like that. So to me, he's not the kind of guy for us. I mean, I don't mind him as a backup if we keep 9, but I just don't see that as a viable option. Looks like we're playing a lot of fun and gun, a lot of zone stretch, play action passes, and you need mobility, and you need guys on the back end. We do that zone stretch play action to handle the guy booting getting out around behind the tackle and going after the booting quarterback, and he doesn't fit that bill. So I want to move on to Smythe, who we've re-signed. Tom Pelissero, Dolphins are signing tight end Durham Smythe to a 2-year extension of 7.75 with 5.5 fully guaranteed per source. The deal includes a raise to 4.5 for 2023, max value 8.75. I like Smythe, not as a number 1 tight end. I like him as a number 2. I think he can do a lot of things. I think he can even play a little H. I think he's a quality guy to have on your roster. I don't know about the extension, but let's take a look at Smythe here. And you see, again, the PFF grades, the most expedient way, but you can get into some other stuff. I'll show you in a minute the actual hurries and sacks and all this. But you can see over the last couple of years, you can see on the left, his run blocking has really been subpar. It was subpar last year. It was worse the year before. And then you can see his pass blocking. It was subpar last year, but it was better in years prior. So it was a down season for him. I think some of that has to do with the new offense, all the motion, and just trying to peg the guys who you're supposed to get. So there's a real chance that if he can get back at that, what you saw, the green or the light green, it's going to be a good thing for this team. But he has to get to that point. And I do believe this guy's smart, and he's tough. But again, the run blocking is my concern. So I'm going to take a look at Saubert here. Oh, the name. I love that name. Saubert. Sounds like German. Sounds good. So both these guys are about the same size, But you can see over here last year, his run blocking wasn't so hot. He had 91 run blocks in zone and 70 in gap, but it wasn't successful. But the year before, in 2021, he did really good at 74.2. But then he had 2 following years that weren't so hot, and it's not his rookie year, but 5 years ago he was doing, maybe that is his rookie year. He was pretty good. Now, you got 2 very large quantities of 175 for 2 years. One was very good, one was very bad. What is it? Well, last year, he had Hackett, and that's a bad offensive scheme, and that steals mojo, so I'm going to hope he's going to be more like 2021, but I can't bank on it. Now, his pass blocking, last year was terrible too at 55. It was just a bad season, but you can have off seasons, and you don't know what these guys are dealing with all year, which can really affect what they do. So you see the year before, he was unbelievable in his blocking, both run and pass. But then, Jacksonville the year before, he was terrible, but then he was good in the years. So this guy, I think, along with Smythe, are 2 good pass blockers. I got to believe they're going to get back to that. And that's big for this offense. It's a little scary for me because I believe we need to run the football. We need to actually, my whole deal. But I don't know if I see that here. But Tana, he's not one of the guys that come in to help you with the run block. I got to believe they're adding a tight end in that second or third round. And so it's a little bit easier to run block than to pass block on the NFL level because there's a lot more reads in the pass block. So at least we can hope that we got some pass protection, not much threat in the receiving game. But if we can get one guy who can do both, the run blocking pretty good and the receiving, this group will be really nice because I believe that McDaniel is going to get some motion and movement. And if he has the right guys, the right guys to block on that edge position, he's going to be able to free people up. I've got to believe that, and we need that. So here's one last graphic. This will be Smythe and Saubert. And you can see right here, to the left is Durham Smythe. You can see 83, 80, 66, and 87. That's the snaps. But last year he gave up 3 sacks, 2 hits, 4 hurries, and 9 pressures. I think he was tied for worst in the league last year. And then last year, Saubert had 15 snaps, 1 hit, 1 hurry, and 2 pressures, which is not good. But the year before, he had only 2 pressures and 2 hurries out of 34 snaps. So I don't know what these guys are going to do. They're hit and miss as far as their pass blocking, but I got to believe that this year they're going to be a hit. But neither has been consistent enough for me to be excellent run blocker, although Saubert leaves some belief that he can. So, guys, we need running backs who can pass block. We don't have any. We need a tight end who can seriously run block. Maybe Saubert, but that's about it. We got tight ends that can pass block, but then we got to worry about the offensive line. I don't know. I'm going through the list of who's going to be available. I don't know if I like that 3rd round and maybe even that 2nd round for a tackle or a guard. I'm not certain yet. Center, yes. But to me, tight end, a quality blocking and receiving tight end is going to be there in the 2nd round. We just got to pick the right one, guys. So there is some hope here, a little bit of concern, but I think there's a little bit more hope to concern where we are, especially if we add the right tight end in this draft and hopefully another blocker, right tackle, in this draft as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Blocking is going to make us or break us. I wrote in a comment before somebody, Patriots must have blocking or they're doomed because Mac just can't do it on his own, and they don't have enough talent in the receiving group. But if Rodgers goes to the Jets, and then you got Allen at the Bills, and you got Tua and Hill and Waddle with the Dolphins, to me, whoever builds the deepest and best offensive line is going to have the clear advantage to win this division. And I believe the 3 big boys are the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills. So hope we get the blockers. Anyway, Kurt saying thanks for stopping by. Catch you next time. Be well. Get some blockers, Dolphins. Get some blockers. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.